Welcome back. In the previous class, we have studied about a reference and what is a reference and how it works. Today, we are doing an important topic called as class and objects. This is a very important topic when you're making something big in C++, like a very vast kind of project or a bigger kind of project. You have to know what are classes and what are objects. So in very simple words, if I start, what is class? Class, you can generally understand that it's a blueprint. For example, let's say you have to make a house. So before you make a house, we generally make a blueprint, like where will be the floors, what kind of floors, how many rooms will be there, where will be the bedroom, where will be the living room, and all those things. So first we make a blueprint. After that, we make a house. You can say that this is kind of like a prototype. That is, we're making it before we're making the actual model. Similarly, a class is a blueprint which we're making, which will have all the details that we have to fill. Based on that description, we make that particular program. And one more thing, since we have to do class, the word class itself is a keyword. So you have to remember, we can't use it in any variables or something like that. So the name of the word class is keyword. So how do we define or how do we write a class? Very simple way. What we have to do is we have to write the word class first, keyword. Then we write the name of the class. So I'm going to write class name. We start the curly brackets. And here we have to give a semicolon at the end, where we are ending the class. Inside here, you can put any data whatsoever you want. So depending on that, the class will work. With class, always you have to remember that objects will come. Now, what are these objects? So in simple words, objects are anything. What does it mean? For example, car is an object, then let's say a book is an object, pen is an object, anything like that. So when we have to learn about classes, we have to know about objects also. For example, if I write, let's say if I write program can be of different languages, maybe C++, Python, HTML, Ruby, Java, JavaScript. It can be any programming language. Now try to understand here is that this is the class, because we all know that all these are programs. It can be of different languages, but they are programs. And these are all the objects. So of this class, these can be the objects. This way we can understand the relation between a class and an object. If I give you one more example, if I have a car, say if I write car here, the car can be any car. Like we have BMW, Audi, Mercedes. It can be any car, but all these have the same features that all car has, that they move forward, they move backward, they go right, they go left, they have doors. These things are present in every single car, irrespective of which brand they are. They may have some other accessories which other cars may not have, but at least the common thing will be there. So these are the objects and this is the class. So that is the relation. So if I have to show you how you make an object from a class, we first write the name of the class. So class name will come, and then we'll write the name of an object. For here, I'm taking as object 1. So this object is of this class. Now with this object, I can do anything possible. For example, if I have a function, let's say void f, and inside here I have some, let's say r1, r2. Then let's say int main, I have the main function here, and let's say r3, r4. So suppose one function here, if you see, this is one function and this is the main function. Now here I'm creating two objects, 1, 2. And here also inside the main function, I'm creating two objects. Here, this is the class name. This R is the class over here. Now, as you can see, we've created the object in the class in any function of the program. And we've also created the object in the class within the class itself or in other classes also. So we can create as many objects as we want. We just have to have one single class. Now, how do we access it? For example, I want to access this function. So what I'm going to do is over here, I'm going to in the where we have to access in the main function, I'm going to write, suppose I have to use this object. So I will write r2.f. Then I'll give a semicolon. I'm just giving an example. So this won't be the object will be different, but I'm just giving an example. So we give the dot and then that way we can access. So let me show you a program in order to understand this better. So here I have a very simple program of class and object. Firstly, what I did is, as you can see, we have a class, name of the class is room, and then we have something called as public. I'll tell you what is public means. Then we have some variables using all doubles. So when we do classes, we have 3 access specifiers. If I write it, access specifiers. What does it mean? Like for example, if I have a class, then maybe another class also, class 2. These two class, this class wants something from this class. So for that, it should access. How can it access? So there are 3 things which are present in one class. We have private members, we have protected members, and we have public members. For now, we'll not discuss the second one. We'll discuss the first one and the last. Public means it is public. It can be accessed by anyone in the class or maybe even outside, depending on how, we have certain concept of friend class as well. So with that, they can access. When it is private, then it cannot access. These are private members, which will be accessible only through that particular class only. not by others. So that is the concept. Here in the program, if we have something which is set as public, that means all these things which are inside the public, this entire thing can be accessible without any issues. What we have here, we have 3 variables using double, and then I have made a function here which will calculate the area. What is it giving back? It is giving the length and breadth. So basically it's calculating the area of a particular room. Then the volume is length into breadth into height. It's finding the volume of a particular room and it's returning back to us. After that, what happens? If you see here, our room 1 over here. So this is the class and this is the class object name. So here I'm creating the object on this particular line. So this room 1 is the object. This is the name of the class. And with the room 1, that is the object, I can access length, breadth, and height. Or I can provide that also. So what I'm doing, I'm giving the length, I'm giving the breadth, I'm giving the height. And it will go here directly. I don't need any parameters because it's simply a class. Since I have the object, it will be easily accessible. And as you can see, with the same object, I'm accessing the functions as well. So if I run the code, they will all get multiplied depending on you need the area or you need the volume, and they will display it. So let's run the code and see what we get. So as you can see, we're getting the area of the room and we're getting the volume of the room. So it's very simple to understand here is that whatever class I have to create an object. How I create an object? I first write the name of the class and then I will create any object. Object is something like variable name. Once I have the object, I can access anything from the class. Whatever, I want to access the variables, I want to access the functions. So that we can do. Now, if we want, we can also put private members over here in this class itself. Just one thing you have to remember: when things are private, then only it is accessible within the class. Outside, nobody can access it. So that you have to remember. Other than that, the thing are same. Only you can create objects, you can access the members. So that is about class and object. We have done a very basic way to understand it. If you have any doubts regarding this, you can put down in the comment section.